Hi, I'm Dr. Joanne Orlando. Imagine growing up in a world of fake news, fake content, fake health experts on social media, advertising that presents as real news, or videos that present as genuine human interest stories, but they're really just a vehicle for sponsored content. Children today are growing up in a world where distributing large volumes of disinformation has become a powerful and very subtle art. And it's no surprise that a recent study from Stanford found that 80% of young people or college students couldn't distinguish between less obvious forms of advertising and news. So they couldn't distinguish between things like sponsored content and a news item. They tend to focus more on the image or the video or the text that's contained within the post rather than the sources. For example, who's posted it, where it's come from, the timeliness of the post, and so forth. So part of the issue is the massive amount of content that's posted online. And you've probably seen this diagram. For every 60 seconds on the internet, there are 3.3 million Facebook posts, 29 million WhatsApp messages, and around 500,000 tweets. That's every 60 seconds on the internet. So this huge volume of content online and the speed at which it's shared and travels means it becomes an increasingly challenging task, not only for young people, but for people of all ages to detect fake content. But the effect on young people is even more pronounced. That's because they get most of their understanding about the world from social media, much more so than their parents or from adults. So for the first time, research shows that over 60% of young people get their news about the world from Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever social media platform they're using. Now, these platforms we know are rife with fake content, and they provide a loudspeaker to anyone who can attract followers, no matter what the message or what the content. So often what's shared is influenced very heavily by the desire to get noticed, to get maximum views, and to get maximum impact. So an echo chamber also means that young people become more and more immersed in this fake and manipulative content. And their friends are in a similar kind of echo chamber or a similar kind of bubble, reinforcing the trustworthiness of this content. And if they don't move outside their bubble, they're likely to accept it or accept most of it or believe 80% of it. So we've seen how powerful fake news can be. It can even sway something as big and huge as the US election. But in comparison, what's the impact it's actually having on this generation of today's youth? Because that's even more important. How will it impact their understanding of the world that they live in, their place in this world, the goals they create for themselves? How should it influence education and school curriculum? And then long term, how will it influence them once they go into the workforce and start developing policies and practices and other kinds of industry? The implications are huge.